It is day 3 here at Gen Con 50, and I have an opportunity to speak about a company I'm not overly familiar with, and Brandan Parsons is joining me from Brain Games. And it's not about eating games, it's games that'll make you think. And I'm familiar with your company, Brandan, because of Ice Cool.
Ice Cool, yep.
Which is a dexterity game.
That's right.
That released last year.
Yep, at Gen Con.
At Gen Con. And I remember in the press room, they had a demo copy set up. And loads of press members were like, what is that? What's going on? So we're going to talk a little bit about Ice Cool, but you also have 3 new family games.
That's right.
That are coming out. Reef Route, King Frog, and Woohoo!
You got it.
So where do you want to start, Brandon? What should we talk about? Do you want to talk about the family games first?
Sure, let's talk about
fresh,
the new stuff.
Yeah,
why not? Yeah, so there are 3 new games. They're all imported by us to the U.S. from a small publishing company called Logos, and they're in Lithuania, and we are based in Riga, Latvia, so we're next to each other.
Sure.
We're friends.
Sure.
So yeah, we're just bringing in 3 of their most popular titles. They were 2 of them were released at Essen last year, and then I believe it was Woohoo that was released the year before.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah, so all we did was just localize it, clean up the English a little bit, switch the names, and then brought them over.
So let's start off. What is Reef Route?
Reef Route is very similar to the classic children's playground game Sharks vs. Minnows. We have minnows on one side of the board and sharks on the other, and your goal is to get your minnows past the sharks without being eaten alive.
Aha!
It's a roll and move game, so the custom dice have the 4 different colors of minnows, and then on 2 sides are the predators. Whenever you roll a predator, you're going to move a predator forward. Whenever you roll a minnow, you're going to move a minnow forward. Obviously, you're going to want to move your opponent's minnows into the predators and move your own minnows out of the way. That's basically it. We roll the 2 dice, move our guys. I win when I either get to the finish line or all my opponent's minnows have been eaten by the sharks.
And how many players is that for?
2 to 4. Almost all of our games are 2 to 4 players.
Okay, 2 to 4. Age range?
Age range on Reef Route is 5+.
5+. So, unfortunately, I can't play it.
Soon.
One day.
You'll get there.
I'll have big boy pants then. So let's talk about King Frog.
King Frog is my personal favorite. It is the most nuanced. It's a very simple play pattern. All you do is you pick a card, you reveal it, then you move that many spaces and repeat. But what you're trying to do, it's a marathon race to become the king of the frogs.
Right.
So we have a circular race track of lily pads, and our goal is to land our frog onto lily pads of our color. Now, there's only 1 frog per space, so if there's a frog on a lily pad, I'm just going to leap over that frog, and that will count as 1.
Sure.
But the way it works is we all have the same 5 cards to begin with. They're mosquito cards in our color, and they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the number of spaces you're going to move. But the way it works is we all simultaneously lock in how far we're going to move. Then we flip up our mosquito card, and in order from smallest to largest, we will start moving our frogs.
Okay.
So it's a mind game. It can be played as a mind game where you think, oh, so my opponent needs to get to this yellow lily pad. He's going to pick a 2. So if he's picking a 2, he's going to go before me, so I should pick a 3 so that I can land on my color lily pad.
Sure.
So it's a very simple game, but you can actually spend a lot of time trying to get into each other's head.
Sure. Which is what I like to see 5-year-olds doing.
This is a slightly more mature game. We say 7 and up for this one.
7 and up.
7 and up. But yeah, so we just keep on taking turns, locking in a mosquito card and revealing and moving. If you don't land on your color, you lose the mosquito card you use that turn for the rest of the game. So every time you mess up, you are 1/5 of the way towards losing.
Right.
And when you have lost all your cards, you are out of the game, and then last frog standing is the winner.
So the last frog standing is the winner, and all the other frogs are exiled.
They have actually...
from the nation. They're sent wandering the land.
I like to think they've sunk and drowned, but yeah,
I wasn't even going to go that way. It's for kids 7 years old.
They have a lot of life lessons to learn.
That's right. You heard that first, kids. There's a lot of things in life you don't know about yet, and it's mostly bad. So let's talk about Woohoo.
Woohoo! Yeah, sure. That is the quickest
one. Like a super adult party game. It's XXX.
Super adult party game, after dark only, 18 plus, a lot of really graphic content. It's
Successfully kickstarted. No, I'm teasing. We're teasing.
No, it's a very simple roll and move game.
Okay.
I'd call it a better Candyland. All it is a 6-sided die numbered 1, 2, 3. You roll the die. That's how far you move. But what's cute is it's a 3-dimensional elephant slide.
Okay.
So every space is a step up on the slide. So if I move 1, I'm going 1 up the slide. And when I get to the top, I actually slide my big chunky meeple down it. And I call out the name of the game. Woohoo! And at the bottom, it's actually the box itself looks like a sandbox, and the slide slides into it. So we're sliding into the sandbox, and then we collect a toy. Each toy is 1 point. Most points wins.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cute for, like, you see 3 and 4-year-olds play it, they love it because they can understand how to play. There's a little bit of color recognition, counting, but super simple stuff.
Sure. And adults can use it as a drinking game, and you drink every time you get on the slide, baby.
You get it.
And then the game that came out last year that's done very, very well for you.
Yes.
In fact, I believe, didn't it win, I think a Dice Tower Award
Dice
for
Tower
family?
Family Game of the Year, Kinderspiel des Jahres Children's Family Game of the Year. We won the UK Game Expo Children's Game of the Year. We were Creative Child's Game of the Year. So it's got some awards.
He's getting all snooty here.
We have so many awards, we ran out of space on the box.
Well, we don't worry about the Dice Tower Awards because everybody knows Tom Bassel doesn't really play games. He plays a guy on videos that play games.
Oh, my.
I'm teasing Tom. We don't tell. I'm just teasing. So, you've won all these awards. Not you personally. The game won these awards. You've won other awards as well.
Sure.
Which we won't discuss. So Ice Cool is kind of like a dexterity game, and it's got a pretty good size layout. And my understanding is are you like trying to shoot fish, or is it penguins or something through this icy area, and you're trying to hit fish?
Yeah, you are shooting your penguins. It's a penguin flicking dexterity game, and you're shooting them around your Ice Cool High School.
Ice Cool High School.
And your goal is to collect fish by going through the doorways. So 3 doors every game have fish over them. When you shoot your penguin through one of them, you collect a fish as a point.
Aha.
Well, it's 1, 2, or 3 points. You collect a fish, and then you take a fish card numbered 1, 2, or 3. They're shuffled randomly at the beginning of the game.
And if you just don't have the skills to shoot your penguin through the little openings and that, you're going to be out of luck.
Well, so I actually have this conversation with my colleagues all the time. I think that the most fun from the game actually comes from your accidental successes.
Sure.
Because you can be terrible at this game, and every once in a while you'll get an amazing shot, and it will feel really good.
Sort of like miniature golf.
A lot like miniature golf. A lot like a bunch of the popular dexterity games, like air hockey and things of that nature. Yeah. The other thing that we haven't discussed is while we're running around the board trying to collect fish, one of us is doing something different. This player is the hall monitor, and the hall monitor is kind of like a game clock. They are trying to end the round as fast as possible by knocking into the other penguins.
Oh, okay.
So they are the hall monitor, and every time they knock into a penguin, they will take that penguin's hall pass. Once they've collected all the hall passes, the round is over.
Ah, okay.
And then we pass the role of hall monitor on to the next player. Once we've each been the hall monitor for 1 round, we add up our fish points.
Fantastic.
It
does look pretty fun.
It is a lot.
And I'm the first one to admit, quite a few dexterity games kind of leave me cold.
Sure.
But it does look like it's a pretty fun game.
It's been really great. It's been popular with kids and adults. The adults like that you do get better as you play. It's a skill-based game.
Right.
And the kids, like I said, all that accidental success is really
Of course.
a joy. Yeah.
And it's for all ages.
It really is.
So that's,
yeah.
Grandma can play along with your 7 or 8-year-old child, and bring the neighbors over.
It's true.
Exactly.
Yep.
Fantastic. And if I may ask, what's the MSRP on Ice Cool off the top of your head, if you know, U.S.
40 is what we have.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. So if I may ask, Brandon, is there anything on the horizon, or is there anything that's in the pipeline that you want to kind of share with the audience, keep their eyes peeled for?
Well, we got a lot of exciting things coming out. The one that I am most able to talk about is just more Ice Cool content.
Okay.
So next year we are going to be releasing a expansion of sorts for Ice Cool. The details are still yet to be revealed, but it will be combinable with the base game. It will increase the player count and add some new rules in as well.
So penguins go to college. It'll be Ice Cool University.
I still like Ice Cool 2 Electric Boogaloo, but
there you go.
But it's not going to happen.
Fantastic. Now I have to ask, last question. I've asked this question of all my interview subjects here at Gen Con.
I'm excited.
Is this your first Gen Con?
This is my 4th.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the question is, share with our audience one of your favorite Gen Con memories. That you can, it's a family friendly. Okay, so there's none.
Oh my goodness. This interview.
All right. The check will clear in the morning. Don't worry. Brandon, thanks so much for taking some time out. It is super busy. Gen Con is insane this year. They're looking at about over 90,000 attendees, which is about a 20,000 jump in attendees from last year. So it is crazy. Thank you so much for taking some time away from your busy booth.
My pleasure.
For us to talk. And enjoy the rest of the show.
You too.